Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Okay, today we're going to talk about love and marriage. Love and marriage. Okay, before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to all of the new viewers. Welcome to all of the new subscribers. And welcome to the family subscribers who have been with me from the beginning. I appreciate you all so very much. And I want to say thank you for your comments. I really appreciate them because it lets me know how you feel about these messages. I want to thank you for your donations. I really appreciate all of you. And thank you for your letters. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So, at the end of the video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions. Oh, yes. And those of you who are interested in these caps, they are now in my online store. So in the description, just go down and you'll see online store, and there you are. Okay, so now today's topic, love and marriage, was inspired by the letters that came in. So to start this off, I'm gonna show you a video, and then we're gonna talk about it and read some letters. Okay, all right, here we go.
And so when David and I met and married, within 8 months of our marriage, my husband David had two major strokes to the degree that he could not walk or talk. He didn't even know who I was. And that was obviously very devastating because it has changed our lives forever. Because when we got married, we had hopes of a different type of marriage. But today, through a series of medical assistance, David is recovering every day. And I am so happy that he has had this level of commitment, because I don't believe that he would have recovered as well if he didn't have that level of commitment. But for me, it was a devastating event because nobody marries with the intention that your husband or your spouse is going to have a medical event that could leave them in a state that doesn't even recognize you and doesn't even know you. And so this journey of recovery that we have had to take has been huge. But I'm committed to our marriage. And I can remember when this medical emergency happened, several of the people around me said, "So are you going to stay married?" And I was so confused by that question because I made a commitment. I'm in a covenant with my husband. And it doesn't matter. No, we didn't want it to happen, but it happened. And because of it, I believe that we are closer today than we probably would have been in 25 years of marriage. Has it been difficult? It absolutely has. And has it been different than I envisioned our marriage to be? It sure has. But I can say this, and that is, there's a lot of statistics out here that tell women, especially women of color, that if you've been married one time, then the chances of you getting married a second time are slim to none. And then the statistic is compounded with your age. So when I married David, I was in my late 50s, all probably very close, to 60. And David was already in his mid 60s. But we knew that when we met, it didn't take us long to know that we wanted to be with each other.
Okay, now as we see in the video, this young lady took her vows seriously. And that's actually how they should be taken. You know, if you vow to stay with someone through sickness and through health, really, it's a vow that you made to the divine and you really should keep it. But many times we make the vow because it's standard practice to make the vow as it stands, you see, and then we'll get into a situation that is not good for us. And so we have to break the vow. Okay, that's why I tell women today to make your own vow. You don't have to vow to stay with this person, better or worse. Just make the vow that you'll stay with them as long as it's good. Yeah, you understand, but you understand what I'm getting at. You don't want to make vows and not keep them. Okay, and this lady kept her vow, and I don't really have anything to criticize her about. It was her choice to stay with her husband and all of that, and I commend her for that. Now, I'm not saying that if I were in that same situation that I would do that, because she didn't say how long she knew him before they got married. It just seems like they met, and in 4 months or whatever, bam, they were married. You know, that could have been a shaky situation if he didn't get sick. If he didn't have those strokes after they just got married after 4 months, that marriage could have turned out to be a disaster. We don't know. We don't know how long she knew him or anything. But it's not good practice to marry somebody that fast. I believe you need to get to know them. You see, in her marriage, she's just been a nurse the whole marriage. The whole marriage, she's been a nurse to him. And so you can't base whether it's a happy marriage or not, because she's actually been the nurse the whole time. And it's different if he was healthy and never got sick. You know, that marriage could have went either way because she really didn't know him. I get the flavor from the video that they're both Christians, and Christians believe that you get married, you stay married no matter what. Okay, and that probably has a lot to do with the reason why she did stay married. She made a vow and all of that. So I can understand that. It's a lot of Christians who are married to people because they made that vow, and it's not saying that it's a happy marriage. It is what it is. But it's your choice, ladies, whether you want to stay in a situation or not. This is what I'm saying. If you decide to stay, then that's your life. It's your life. You have control. You understand? So this lady decided to stay. Kudos to her. If she's happy in the situation she's in, good. Good. But personally, I would not sacrifice my entire life on a situation like that. That's my personal choice. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want to do it. Not unless I'd known this man a long time and we were best friends, and you understand? If we had that kind of bond before we actually tied the knot and got married, then yeah, I would probably take care of it. But if I just met him in 4 months, bam, we got married and he got sick like that, I don't think so. I don't think I don't think it would be in me to do that, because I haven't had a chance to really bond with him. Bond with him, who he really is. You understand? And that's how I feel about it. It's a personal choice whether you want to sacrifice yourself for someone else, it's up to you. It's up to you. But personally, I wouldn't do it. Okay? So I hope that you understand what I mean by that. Because I'm not criticizing her at all. You understand? If that's the way, if that's her choice, and she's happy with that because she has her husband there, great, great, great. I have nothing more to say about that one. Okay, let's go on to another letter. This is an issue that she has with her husband. Okay, we've been together for 4 years. 3 of those years was long distance, and we've been married for 1 year. So you've been together for 4 years. 3 of those years was long distance, and you've been married for 1 year. Okay, so you got to know him long distance. Okay. When we started dating, I was at the lowest point of my life, and I was very vulnerable and told him things I've never told anyone. But I trusted him because he came to me when I was down bad. Okay. After 3 months of dating, I became pregnant in the midst of co-ed. He supported me financially until I had my son. He wanted me to travel with the child due to the fact that he was outside of the country, but I declined once again due to COVID. And I'm a first-time mom, so my fears were very high. Sure they were. You understand? You don't want to be traveling around with your newborn baby. After some arguments and disappointment, he cut my son and I off for 7 months until my son's first birthday. Well, that was harsh. Just because you wouldn't travel, that was very harsh. He sent money for his birthday and bought 2 plots of land for my son back in his home country. After our son turned 1, we started rekindling our relationship and decided to get back together in 2021. My son and I flew to his country to meet his family, and while there, we got married. Oh, okay, now I understand. You got married. You had your son before you got married. Okay. All right, that was a little confusing there. All right. There were many red flags, but I didn't see them. I have caught him multiple times talking to women online, telling them that he's in a relationship, but it's not serious. Okay, now you're married now. So yeah, a lot of married men are online pretending that they are single. You know, they're trying to get sex. That's all it is. That's all it is. Even if they're getting sex from you. It's a lot of men that are doing this kind of thing. He takes care of me and our son basic needs, but doesn't share his financial information with me. He has bought a car for which I co-signed, but he didn't add my name to ownership. I don't even understand how that can be. How, unless you co-sign for a loan and then he went and bought the car on his own. Maybe that's what you mean here. Because if you went to the dealership and you co-signed, your name is on the ownership. So I don't quite understand that. Okay. He has bought 4 plots of land, which I also signed as a witness, but not a co-owner of. Yeah, so I don't even understand. How are you co-signing for him to purchase something and then you're not the owner, the co-owner? I don't even understand what kind of contracts you're signing. Okay? He told me he wants me to buy a land for myself, which I suggested he should be in one to buy me land. But he said I should bring half of the money. Okay, apparently He's taking care of himself. You're he using your money to take care of himself, buy land or whatever he's doing. You don't have any ownership in where your money is going. Okay? We barely have conversations about our relationship roles and what we expect of each other. He doesn't give me compliments or make me feel beautiful. In fact, he has said more derogatory things about me to my face. I've lost the person I used to be and just want to get back to myself. How do I start? Where do I start? How do I make a decision that I won't regret when I look back 5 or 10 years from now? No, okay. Number one, I think you made a mistake in marrying this man. You didn't know him. I'm telling you, ladies, you can't know a person long distance. And then you went and got pregnant. You understand? And then married the guy. Okay, so, I'm not saying getting pregnant is a bad decision, because I think children are wonderful, no matter how they come here. But this man, from your letter, doesn't seem to mean you any good at all, married or no. You understand? Everything he seems to be doing is using you for your money. He needs money to buy this and to buy that. Needs for you to co-sign because you got the good credit. Apparently he doesn't. But he's using you for your finances. He's flat out using you for your finances. And you say that he's taking care of you and your son financially for a while, as long as you comply to his demands. But when you don't, you also said he cut you off. It's very difficult, I find, to live with someone who is manipulating you. And that's what he's doing. He's using you for your credit and your finances. And whatever monies that he's giving you, if you don't comply to his demands, he cuts you off. This is not the makeup of a happy marriage. I don't see it. And usually, you get what you get. You can't look for him to change. This is his setup. This is the way that he operates. Now, you've only been married a year. It's not starting out good. He's not even making you feel good. You don't need to be with a person like that. You don't need to be with a person like that. So, I think you need to think about it and decide what you want to do, because again, it's free will. It's your choice. But believe me, whatever you accept into your life, you will get more of it. More of this kind of treatment. It will never stop because you are accepting it. But if you decide, no, I'm not going to accept this, I'm going to do something else, I'm going to change the way that I think about this thing and do something about it, then you'll get something different. You'll get something different. But you need to make up in your mind what kind of life you want. What kind of life you want. And set up these standards that you will not accept less. You understand? Changing the way that you think will help to change what is going on in your life. Okay, I hope you understand that. And it's really, for that letter, it's up to you. Free will. Decide what you want and go for it. Okay? So now let's go to another letter here. Okay, this is a lady that's asking about her daughter. Okay, her daughter, I guess, is getting ready to get married. So let's see if we can go through this. I have a daughter who has been in a relationship for almost 6 years with an older man. She is 33 and he is 53, and has at least 2 to 3 ex-wives, baby mamas, multiple children in other states. My daughter has never been married, has no children, and has an advanced professional degree. I recently discovered that a few years ago he persuaded her to have an open relationship and had made multiple videos of himself having sex with several different women. Wow, this is already starting off kind of to the left. Then sent them to her to watch. If that wasn't bad enough, he encouraged her to have sex with another man in order to video that act and watch it later. He did stop her at the last minute from following through with it, but to me, that sounded like he was testing her to see just how far he could manipulate and control her. My daughter was a Christian before meeting this man, so she knows this was wrong on every level, but his influence over her is profound. After asking her about this pornographic videos and texts to her and expressing how exploitive, degrading, disrespectful, and demoralizing this was for him to do this to her, my daughter's response was to deny it ever happened. So she actually believes him when he tells her that he loves her despite his actions that show otherwise and that she's denying. I was completely blindsided by her willingness to accept this from him and then deny it to my face. I couldn't believe how easy it was for her to compromise her beliefs and for her lack of self-respect, self-worth, and why she did not kick him to the curb and out of her life instead. She will only admit to his wanting an open relationship at one time, but says he changed since then and has become a godly Christian man. He denies these videos too and has not offered one word of remorse for the damage he has done to her as a woman, nor has he taken any steps to show her an accountability that he has changed. She merely takes his word for it. While his actions say otherwise, he has since then moved into her apartment, saying falsely that they would be living in a spiritual union of marriage. In God's eyes, since they had been baptized together, which is not what baptism means at all, and she knows this, I also saw sexually vulgar texts from him accusing her of sexual acts with a man in the apartment building only because he couldn't reach her by phone. He is very adept at mixing half-truths and lies and keeps her in constant state of confusion. He is also becoming enmeshed in her businesses and uses her to work nonstop on his floundering ones. He's convinced her that he's a millionaire with funds hidden in offshore accounts. Yet he has a ton of credit card debt, owns no house, and leases his car. In my opinion, he is just a smooth-talking con man, sexual deviant, and has all the traits of a narcissistic sociopath, but she sees none of it. Okay, let's get to the question here. Okay, my daughter is about to make the biggest mistake of her life, and I know he will leave her financially broken, in debt, childless, and continue to secretly cheat, leaving her emotionally, mentally, and spiritually devastated at the end. I love her so much and can't bear the thought of her marrying him and having even more control over her, as well as being soul tied to this evil man. It looks like this man that she is about to marry, I guess, Looks like she met up with a narcissist. That's what it looks like to me. He's a narcissist. And yeah, he has taken total control of your daughter. And I'll tell you why I think it happened. In the letter, you talked about your daughter's situation, but you didn't talk about how was your daughter raised? Was her dad around? You know, was he around? Was he abusive? Was he a narcissist? Because I believe she's hooked up with a narcissist. That's what makes me ask about her background. She hooked up with this guy, and it sounds like he is a narcissist. See, narcissists have supply all over the place. And this narcissist is on the borderline of being a pimp. A pimp. He wanted to pimp your daughter out to be with other men. Why he filmed it. Pimps do that. You understand? And who's to tell? He may have your daughter making money for him. You don't know, but he's already got your daughter's mind. He's already got her mind. And right, she's already soul tied to him. She is bonded to him. And she's in love with him. You understand? This is how pimps work their women. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But most times, the women had a problem with a man when she was growing up. She didn't get love from the male figure. That's what makes me believe that maybe her father was around. Because, or she was always looking for a father, or something that was missing with a male that make her go with this man. This man is familiar to her. It must have been some man in her life or whatever that influenced her and maybe didn't treat her well or whatever, and she feels like she can get love from this man and make it all better. You see? But not knowing her background is difficult to say why your daughter is in this predicament. And to tell you the truth, it's not much you can do about it. This man has got, it sounds like, full control of your daughter. And it's probably too hard for you to tell just how far out on a limb he's got her. Or he has taken her. You understand? And until your daughter decides she wants a different life, if she ever decides that, it's not going to be much you can do about it. And it's unfortunate to say, it's her choice. It's her life. But this guy is going to take her down a very dark path. A very dark path. Maybe one day she'll wake up. But you, as the mother, you're going to have to let it go. You have no choice unless you're just going to destroy your life worrying about what's going to happen to her and why she's doing this and how, she was raised as a Christian, she know better or whatever. She's made a choice. And I assume that she is, she's 33, she's a grown woman. She can do what she pleases. And it's not anything you're going to be able to do about it. She's been with this man, what'd you say? She's been with this man almost 6 years. I think you can forget it, mother. Forget it. She's chosen this life with him. But don't let it destroy your life because of it. I'm a mother too. And, our children, they make their own decisions. And we don't agree with it. We see that it could be detrimental to them, you know, and we may say something. I know in my life, the times that I have said something, it backfired on me. So I've learned to just let it go. Let it be. Let them figure it out. And I hope that you understand that, because it can backfire on you. Your daughter can cut you out of her life totally because you're trying to help her. I know this personally. So, sometimes us as parents, we just got to know when to let it go. Let it go. If she comes back to you for your support, then you give her your support and love and all that you can do. But her situation with this man is going to be totally up to her. Okay? All right. So I hope that helps. And I hope you understand this message. Now, I don't know if we have time for another letter. Let me see if we can squeeze this one in. Okay? I am 53 and I have grown up children happily living their lives. I had 2 failed relationships, which resulted in the 2 children which I raised entirely on my own. Okay. I have 2 beautiful grandbabies, and I have my own home, car, working steadily on my retirement nest egg. I have been in a relationship with a man for 15 years. He lives at his mom's, and he has money, and his money goes there in that household with his mom and her bills. Great. He is a hard worker and saving to build his own house on inherited land. I live alone. I never wanted him to live with me because he wants to be master of his house one day. Yeah, of course. Listen, men want to be master of their house, and if they move into your house, they want to be master of your house too. You understand? That's just a man thing. Okay. He has never had children, and despite me breaking up with him many, many times, he never breaks up with me. Okay. He likes you. He does. I have broken up with him for reasons such as being bored to death, needing the chance to be free and see what else could be. We got back together. Him not spending time with me causing me to feel like Rapunzel in a castle. I am frequently bored to death, sometimes lonely, but okay with that in my home. Okay, I wonder often, is this all there is to life? Well, life is what you make it. What you make it. You're in control of this thing. You understand? You don't have to just like allow life to happen to you. You create the life you want. If you're bored, find something that occupies your time. Read. For me, it's gardening. I love my garden. And all summer, I'm in the garden. Pulling weeds, planting flowers, just enjoying the garden. I'm never bored. And I don't have a partner. I don't have a romantic partner, but I'm as happy can be. You understand? So you don't have to be bored. There are so many things that you can do. You understand? Start a hobby. Start to do crafts. I know one time I used to do the craft circuit. You make these little things and then you go out and you sell them and you meet all kind of people. You meet all other craftsmen. It's fun. It's a lot of things you can do. There's no reason for you to be bored, ladies. Okay? So let's see what else you say in this letter. Now you say that you do not miss him. We rarely talk on the phone during the week, but come weekend time, we sit and talk and laugh and do odd jobs and enjoy each other's company. So you like that. But what is the problem with the man? Do you just think he is boring? Or what? He has a marijuana addiction all the years, and his spare money goes toward that. Well, weed doesn't cost that much money. So, unless you say he's got money, weed don't cost that much money. So I don't know why you think that. He prefers to relax, smoke, watch movies, then spend time with me. The older ladies in my family and the younger ones tell me to get rid of him and find me a man who takes care of me. Okay. All right. Okay. It's a lot more to this letter, but I think I got the gist of it. Like I said, if you are bored, find yourself a hobby. You know, you didn't say anything about the man to make me think that he's a terrible guy. You're just bored with him. So, why don't you come up with the activities for you to do? In the letter, you did say that on the weekends that you have fun together. Okay, so I guess it's during the week when you are bored with him. You see? Like I said, if you are bored with him during the week, you have other activities outside of him. Ladies, and this is for all of you. Even if you are in a relationship, never make your partner your whole life. Have other things that occupy your time. You know, read, have a hobby, do crafts, do a lot of things. Don't make your partner your whole life. And then when he's not entertaining you in some kind of way, now you're bored. No. No. You should have your own life. And when you see him, you have something interesting to share with him. And he the same thing with you. You understand? Never make your partner your life. Don't do it. Don't do it. Or you will be bored when he's not there to be pouring into you. You pour into yourself so that you can be fulfilled. That's what it's about. Now you hit on another subject in this letter about that he's not financially providing for you because all of his money goes toward taking care of his mom and the bills where he lives. Okay. You're financially stable. You said that. You have your own home and all that. Now, it looks like that what you have with this man is like friends. Like you are just very good friends. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are needing or wanting a different type of relationship, then it's up to you. It's up to you. But it looks like what you have with this man is a pretty good friendship. A friendship. And you can keep it as a friendship. You 53. And you've been in this relationship with this man for 15 years? Yeah, it looks like a friendship and a relationship. That's what it looks like. 15 years? Okay. All right. 15 years, you should know him pretty good. You should already know him. But you're getting a little bored and you want him to put more money into you. Maybe he's not buying you gifts like he should, or, you know, taking you out like he should and things like that. If you are not happy with the treatment that you're getting with this man, then your friends are right. You need to leave him alone and wait for the man to come along that suits your desires better. Okay? You're still young. You still, and I'm sure men approach you anyway. You understand? But because you're in this 15-year relationship, have you sat down and expressed your concerns to him, especially about the finances, that he's not doing anything for you financially? You understand? For instance, he's not bringing you flowers and gifts and, you know, things like that. maybe he doesn't have the finances. He doesn't have enough money to give to you and to his home, his living. So, you didn't say how much he made. I don't think you did. Let me see if you did or not. You say that he has money, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. But if this man is not providing for you, and you've been with him for 15 years, and it sounds like you're getting a little bored with him, then move on. Move on. He can be a friend. You can just make him a friend. Just stop, sleeping with him. Stop having sex with him and put him in the friend zone. If you enjoy his weekends, you see, while you are waiting for a more suitable mate to approach. Okay, put him in the friend zone. Let him know he's in the friend zone now. And you can let him know why. You understand? But as far as being bored, there's no reason for you ever to be bored. There's too many things you can do to entertain yourself. Don't ever make a relationship your entire life. That if the relationship is not hopping, then you're bored. Don't do that. That's a dead end. Okay? I hope that you understand this message, and I hope that it helps. Okay? Now, for those of you who have questions, here it is. Send your questions to MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. Send your questions to MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. And I would either answer your letter online, or I would answer it through the email. Now, if you would rather me answer it through the email, just say it in the letter. Just say, please respond through email, and I will comply. Just put it at the top of the letter. It just helps things to move along. And also try to keep your letter short, 1 page. Summarize the situation and just ask the question, and I will comply. Okay? I thank you all for viewing this video. I thank you for supporting this channel. I wish you all well. I wish you all happiness, and I hope this message was a help to someone. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.